Hello, amazing students. Today, we're going to take about 5 minutes to go over checkpoint 3. Was war avoidable? Okay, if you're looking for this particular resource, it's in our Google Classroom under projects. It's going to be a video that's called checkpoint 3. And you also can see the PowerPoint there. Hello, students. We're going to be going over checkpoint 3 today. And here we go. So to do checkpoint 3, the first thing you have to do is go to the resource called Constructing Your Argument. It's going to be under your checkpoint 3 resources, and it is going to look like this. Okay. So you're looking at this wonderful graphic organizer, and the first thing you're going to do is go to the middle box that says, I believe war could or could not have been avoided because. Okay, what you're going to have to do is answer this question. Either you believe that war could or could have not been avoided, and then you have to explain why. I think the best way for you to do this is to first select your two resources or pieces of evidence that you're going to use to answer that question. So, guys, lucky for you, in the presentation, I included it. So, before we go to that, though, let's take a look at see how you do checkpoint 3. So you go to constructing your argument, which we did. In part 1, only fill out if you think war could have been avoided or not, which we're doing right now. In part 2 of constructing your argument, you're going to fill in boxes from 2 different documents. In part 3 of the same document, write your paragraph comparing and contrasting your documents, then explain how they could support your claim. Then, copy and paste your paragraph on the bottom of checkpoint 3 final product, then click submit. So here is a really wonderful example. You have 2 documents, document by BW and the Olive Branch petition by the Second Continental Congress. So this person here says, how does this document help answer the question? This document tells me that in 1765 colonists were ready to protest their treatment and demand representation within Parliament, but were not prepared to declare war. And the Olive Branch petition is the colonists saying, hey, King, can we just work things out? If you look in the paragraph, the author does explain what each document is and how they both support the claim. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is find a quote from one of or 2 quotes from 2 of the following documents. Okay, in other words, 1 quote from each document. So you can pick the letter from Ben Franklin to Lord Henry No Names. You can do David Ramsay and his perspective of the American Revolution. You can pick a quote from good old BW. BW is really passionate about not paying taxes and resisting the taxes that the colonists are being forced to pay. So if you take a look at this quote, awake, awake, my countrymen, defeat those who want to enslave us. Do not be cowards. You were born in Britain, the land of light, and you were raised in America, the land of liberty. It is your duty to fight this tax. We can see here that BW is calling on the colonists to resist the British, and he even calls the British people who want to enslave the colonists. If you were to ask me, according to this guy, war was not avoidable. And then we have the famous speech by Patrick Henry. In fact, he even says, it is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war is actually begun. And he ends it by saying, give me liberty and give me death. You can read this for yourself, but if you ask me, war is pretty unavoidable. Because according to Patrick Henry, It is time to fight for liberty, that very thing that the colonists are looking for. Okay. So then how do you do this checkpoint? So we have to go back to constructing your argument. So let's say you believe that war could not have been avoided because the colonists were wanting self-rule. You can say something like that. Was the American Revolution avoidable? Now in this box, you're going to put your evidence. In this first box here, you're going to put your quote. In the middle box here, you're going to explain how the quote supports your argument of claim. Do you think the war was avoidable or not? Last box, just put the title of the document or the author. The second row, under evidence, your second quote goes there. Explanation. Then in the last column, you're going to put the title or the author. At the bottom here, you're going to compare and contrast the two documents by saying these documents are similar because, these documents are different because, and make sure you explain how they support your claim. Once you do that, copy and paste this paragraph that's in the bottom box. Go to your checkpoint 3 submission page. It's simply called, Was the American Revolution Avoidable? Copy and paste that paragraph at the bottom here. Then click submit for feedback and you're done.